stuck in past or keep thinking about their past experiences. It can be related to their family or relationships or losing a loved one. So why are we in that stage? Like even if they know it's not helping them, how do we make them understand?
Mhm. Mm, we're looking at grief as something that's part of our life, and it is also something that will keep coming up. It is not something we forget. Whenever we generally look at people when they're grieving, we might say, "Okay, leave it, move ahead." That doesn't happen the same way inside us. It's more about accepting that this is not there, or this person is not with us, and then trying to figure out how we balance our life with this absence. So it takes time. So that's why bereaving is a time that, in different cultures they have different timelines. In Indian culture, you have close to 10 to 16 days that,
Right.
based on your ritualistic beliefs you have after a death of someone in the family. And some culture, you don't specifically talk about bereaving, but you have practices like providing eulogies, remembering them for who they are, setting up a legacy, following their paths, or blending it with your life as much as you can. So these are ways that you can manage and accept the person. Other than that, grief is something which becomes a part of us from the time we're born. I think even losing a toy, a child might grieve.
Right.
And probably in the future, when you're an adult, when you see a toy similar, you might suddenly remember, oh, this was a toy I had and I lost it. How I wish if I had it
Again. Yeah.
So, but it won't come from a space of despair. It comes from a space of accepting, remembering. Yeah.
When people go through this kind of a stage in their life, they feel kind of a loneliness around them. So how do they deal with that?
The concept of grieving makes anybody feel lonely. We're talking about losing a person. Let's talk about death of a very close person in the family. Each one of us would grieve in a different way, and even though we may have people around us, we may still feel lonely, because this is dependent on what kind of relationship you had established with the person you lost. So that even though you're surrounded, it may look lonely. And the concept of lonely uh, is has a negative connotation in our space. Lonely also means that you know that nobody else can be in that space to take you out, or nobody might understand where you are from. So you are accepting that this is something personal to you and you are dealing. So that is okay. This process of grieving, it may not necessarily make you feel lonely. It might make you feel alone, being alone, um, because somebody else may not understand the depth of your loss.
Right.
At this point, you may prefer speaking to a professional who may be able to guide you into accepting this, into making it more functional in your life. This absence and the grief should become helpful for you to deal with it rather than become a baggage.
Some people have not experienced any kind of grief or loss of a person, but still feel lonely. Like even though if there are many people around them, they still feel lonely. So why is that happening? And it's happening a lot these days.
If they have a personality that naturally aligns them with themselves, that could be one.
Right.
But if I look at in general, I think post COVID or during COVID, we were forced to isolate ourselves. We were forced to be in a space that humans generally don't prefer. We don't uh, like to be set up in a space without any kind of choice. So that deterministic um, feature of us was curbed. I think because of that, we are bound to show behavioral changes. Time to look at how our mental health was challenged during the COVID. We've had a sense of socialization before it, and post COVID, we've had a different way of socializing. We prefer virtual connections even today. My family members feel comfortable having a video call over to meeting face to face, and that's not something that we have intentionally decided. I think it came with practice, and it became more convenient. And it's a fact that we choose convenience, and it is time saving, economical. And then now we've moved to a space where we have a lot of social media content generated. When you watch these content, there's a general tendency for us to compare ourselves with what is happening in another person's life. So I think now is the time where we are relating to ourselves with more of social media contents rather than what is in reality happening. Um, let's say I see a lot of reports on accidents, and if I was on the road, I would still feel limited to help someone. So, unlike in the olden days, you would have the entire neighborhood rushing. I think it still takes place, but it's drastically reduced because we have learned to become bystanders and watch what is happening. And even more scary is that people shoot what is taking place when somebody is in danger. So there's a shift in our thinking, shift in the way we function, which is inevitable. We can call COVID to be one of the primary factors, but um, another would be the contents that we are engaged in.